Episode number 74.
Yes, and in today's episode, we will be discussing. What will we be discussing?
The creator's time and how you cannot rush it. It is not up to
that's
you.
Exactly what it is.
So hit me with that analogy that you told me a few days ago.
Well, basically, this analogy that I saw, it was a video of a man on a treadmill. So basically, obviously, he set it at, walking pace. And he was trying to run on it. So, using that as a metaphor for time and things in our life, we want to rush these things that are happening in our life. It could be, your business idea. It could be finding a girl you like or a boy you like. It could be anything in your life. Every aspect, we want to rush these things. But with the creator's time, it will happen at the most perfect moment in your life when you need it. And that's what it basically was saying. You can't rush these things. Whatever it is, when you're working on something, when you want to achieve some certain level in life, you can't rush it. You have to just go with the process instead of making it feel like you can control every moment and trying to make it as fast as possible.
Yeah. And when he told me that treadmill example about how, it's set at walking pace, that's like trying to run on a walking pace. It doesn't take you any further from, it doesn't add on to anything. And I was like, I guess another way to look at it is like trying to bake a cake.
I remember you said that. That was a good
the
one.
cake, you gotta wait for it to, produce its results and for it to look good and taste good and just bake properly.
Yeah.
You can't turn up the heat or put less time and there's a reason why it's at the temperature that it is.
You can't.
And so, that's the way, because this world, we as humans, as flesh, we didn't, since we're in this three-dimensional world, we didn't create this. We don't even know how certain things work. But what we do know is that things do take time. And it is up to the creator's time. It is the creator's time. It's the process. It's been set in motion. When you plant a seed, you're not going to expect to grow tomorrow just because, I'm going to water this extra hard tomorrow and I'm going to make sure it gets extra sunlight and all these extra things and it has to, grow in half the time. No, it's still going to take time for it to grow those roots again. No, this actually is good, guys. Try it.
Oh, this was amazing. Yeah. Okay,
But actually though, you can't, just because you do extra things to it, and we're not saying slack in real life. It's just the analogy, so chill.
It is an analogy.
But you can't just expect to do all these extra things to it and expect that plant to just grow the next day. It still needs to form its roots. It still needs to break through the soil. It needs to sprout. It needs to be this beautiful creation. So let this apply to your life. Quit stressing about how fast you want it, how soon you want it. As long as you're putting in that work, as long as you're making sure that you're part of that process, it has to happen. So quit worrying about whether it's going to happen or not, about how fast it's going to come or not. As long as you're doing the best that you can with each and every day that you have, that is going to guarantee the results that you want.
Exactly. That's going to reap those results, like you say. That's important that you say that with whatever you're working on. Yes, you might not get the instant whatever it is in the moment, but with good long-term results, you'll realize all this consistent work over time adds up, and then you will sprout and it will become a fully plant, like a full plant. It will become full. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Good things are worth waiting for. Now there are those times, and I have so many mini manifestation stories where I'm thinking of a pizza, and I think of this pizza, I'm just dang, this pizza would be so good right now. And then my family would come home with a pizza. I was like, wow, I was literally thinking about this an hour ago. This is crazy. And that's just one of them. So yeah, some things like that, they're going to happen quickly, because you believe it, you feel it, you're visualizing. It's okay, cool, I got that. But bigger things, bigger projects, successes and passions and things that you really want to see grow. There's going to be trials. There's going to be things that will test you to see if you really want it that bad.
Oh, that's
and so people give up halfway I didn't get this when I say I was going to get it. I wanted to get this in 2 months. And now look at all this that's happened. You just gave up. It could have been the next month. It could have been 2 more months. But simply because you put yourself in your head that you felt like you could bring that forth. Setting that time limit stresses you out. It puts all this pressure on you, and then you start to doubt yourself. Mm-hmm. And then just because you want it to come in that time, it crumbles everything down. It's just your foundation is weak. You just crumbled everything down. All you need to worry about, or not even worry about, but you just need to do your best every single day. If you know that you're putting in that work, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're opening that door to opportunity. You're in that receiving frequency. So whatever time it takes, it will be worth it.
Ooh,
You know?
that's so good. That is so important that you say that, because I guess it is about reaching that same frequency to receive. Because when you're willing to get to that level and let go of unnecessary, and you realize, okay, I'm putting this work in now because the results will reap later.
Yeah.
Then you're putting yourself in the right mindset to know that yes, it will take a little bit of time, it will take some consistency, it will take some hard work, but it will be worth it in the end. And I guess with the process of all of us wanting it to be instant, this is where we go back to it being like, the thing is, it will come at the perfect moment when you least expect it, and then you'll realize like it was all going to be worth it in the end. Yes, it might have took a year. Yeah, it could have been even quicker, but it's completely up to the creator's time, and that's really what it is at the end of the day. With whatever you want to do, it's going to be thrown at you in the perfect moment. And that's why I've learned not to stress about certain things, because I know it's in God's hand. It's in the time that it's supposed to happen. Like, it's going to come in my life when I least expect it, and it's going to come in my life when I'm like not worried about it. I'm like, oh, whatever, it's okay.
Yeah, when you're basically just in a receiving mode.
That's exactly what it is. But not when I'm like, oh, I want it now, I need it now, or I don't give a fuck about it. That's what it
actually
is.
pushes away these things, and that's something you gotta learn when you're getting into manifestation, when you're getting into belief systems and limiting beliefs. And when you start to learn about all this stuff, you realize that being needy and wanting it now all the time actually pushes it away, because that shows that you're focused more on the lack of that thing than on you actually receiving that thing.
Exactly.
Because people who focus on like, I don't have this yet, or I can't wait to get this, I need this, you're being needy. You're always focused like that. Those words, that kind of mentality, focus on the lack of that, whereas the other people, they focus on how to get that. So they focus on what they need to do, and then that will come naturally. It's kind of like, well, I don't have an example with me, but no, like you're saying, like, yeah, time is going to separate those things, that item, that career, that those $1 million, whatever you want to attract in this life. It's up to you, of course, but there's going to be time that separates it. Not only time, but there's going to be setbacks, there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be things that test you, like to reevaluate, is this actually what you want? Okay, well, this is what you have to go through then. And so that's the way life works. And like like Mario said, like it's up to the creator's time. The creator has set these laws in place that we're all ruled and governed by. There's the law of duality, there's the law of attraction, there's the law of there's just so many laws that we're governed with, that we have to follow if we choose to live the life that we want to live best. And so by understanding these laws, we can then choose to live our best life. So
and that's really what it is, understanding and being able, I wouldn't say manipulate it, but I would say understanding how to work with the laws in your favor.
Yes.
And that's when that's the difference, though, because some people can not even know that these laws occur in the universe, and they'll just live their life, and then they'll wonder why this and this and this is happening, when clearly, if you would take time to research into it, you would see why every little thing in your life is as it is, because you manifested, you affirmed it, it became you for these certain reasons.
Yeah.
Not only that, it is basically realizing that it is about being patient, I would say, as well, and that's a huge part of it. And realizing that to a point, you need to just let it go. And that's the craziest thing. Once you realize, I'm just gonna let it go, and I'm gonna let it happen, and when it happens, it's going to happen, you'll realize it'll be like this when you get it. And that's why I would stop saying, I can't wait to be a millionaire, because that's literally pushing it away. That's telling the universe, I can't wait for this thing to happen. And that's like, well, okay, so what? You expect it now or what? But that's the thing, though. That's why I'm saying I'm so ready to be a millionaire. It's like me affirming now that I am ready.
It's that simple switch in vocabulary.
Switch. That's exactly what it is. The simple switch to change the whole affirmation, that what I'm saying. Yeah. Therefore, I'm ready to receive it. I'm saying I'm ready. I am. I'm not saying I can't wait, or I'm saying I can wait. It's not like pushing it away with the simple wait and the I can't wait. Basically saying you're not able to sit in this period of moment without it. But you're saying, now that I'm ready to receive this, now I'm ready to get whatever I need in my life, then you're basically, it's changing the frequency simply by changing the vocabulary.
Yeah, because what you have to realize, guys, is that there is energy behind the words that you speak, the thoughts that you think. And when you're speaking these things out loud too, it furthers the momentum of what's going to happen. That energy that you're putting behind these words needs to be analyzed like carefully. Like, And it's not even like something stressful or anything that I have to worry about. It's just, stop, like, realize your I can'ts that you're saying. Realize the lack of confidence. Realize where you're lacking in your vocabulary, in your thoughts, and switch it to saying, you know what, no, I can do this, and I'm going to do what it takes for me to get there. Instead of worrying on, like, I can't wait to get there. Focus on what you can do right now that will get you there in the first place.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good right there.
Yeah, and like successful people, you really think they're over here worrying like, oh man, like Elon Musk, like, oh man, I really need the money. I need dang it, like, how's this gonna happen? Like, no, the money is a side effect. It's a result of the problem that they solve. That's what you gotta realize. The problems that you solve in life are always gonna be equivalent to the money that you receive. And so with him, with the projects that he's setting up, these are obviously worth millions of dollars. These are real life problems that are being solved. And so when Elon Musk comes in and solves these problems, I'm pretty sure at the beginning stages he wasn't. Obviously, there's financial issues, right? But that's not the focus. The focus is you're here to solve the problem, and as a result of that, the money has to come. You're not always focusing on like, dang, when's it going to come? I can't wait to be a millionaire. You're getting all anxious. It's a whole mess, and that's not what the focus should be on. The focus should be on find a problem to a solution. I don't know. Find a solution to a problem, and that's all you have. That's all you have to think about. That's all your energy has to go to is how can I do. What can I do to do better? What can I do to be better? And when you look at success stories, those are the patterns that you'll see. These people they aren't stressing about how to get rich, how to become a millionaire. They're working on their craft. They're setting their intentions. They don't have these limiting beliefs. They just know that whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna be the best at it.
And I don't know if that really what it is in the overall nutshell. That's these points are what you need to take into realization and realize. Sit with yourself and think about this. What am I doing now in order to become what I want to be? And am I willing to put in this work consistently? And I'm willing to just let it happen, put it in God's hands, really, or the Creator's hands, and realize that when it will happen, it's going to be in the perfect moment, exactly when I needed it, not when I want it, because that makes a big difference. Yeah. I could say I want all this and all this now, but am I ready for that? Am I truly ready for that? And that's the craziest thing, because we don't know. And when you receive it, you'll finally realize that you were ready for it. That's when you were fully able to receive it.
I'm so glad you hit on that part, because some of us, we don't even realize. We think that we can have everything now, but the truth is you're not in that receiving frequency. You're not capable of it. That's like trying to... No. Yeah, no, exactly. And that's like you trying to jump up from, let's say you can only curl 20s right now. You're working out, you can only curl 20s.
That's a good analogy.
How are you going to go up to 50, 60 pound dumbbells when you can't even curl a 20? Exactly. It takes time, it takes struggle, it takes breaking it down and picking yourself back up to finally get there, because you're finally able to get there. And so that's the thing. That's why they say, if you can't even handle your $100, how do you expect to handle $1,000? If you're over here spending it like an idiot, then you're not obviously capable of ever reaching $1,000. That's common sense, but it's also a law of the universe. You reap what you sow. So every seed that you plant today, the results will come later. They will always come later. You're planting it now. Your thoughts are little seeds that you're putting out there. The way you behave is planting seeds out there all the time. And so, again, that's why if I guess one of your goals, this is just an example, but if one of your goals is to be wealthy, is to be financially free, you need to learn how to manage those first $100. You need to learn how to save and how to spend and how to invest those first $100 before you can ever reach $1,000. And once you learn how to, once you're at $1,000, again, repeat the process. Learn how to save, learn how to invest, learn how to, just discipline. It's really just discipline, and then the $10,000 will come. It's a process, and then it gets repeated, and it's once you get it down, it's so simple to accumulate this wealth because you figured out the formula. You figured out how to work your way up to the next zero.
And really. A perfect example, I would say, of getting the thing that you want now, but not being ready to handle it is, with this stimulus check that we've been given, or many have been given, and you realize, okay, they're like, yes, oh, now I have this amount of money to go spend on this, and this. Oh, I'm going to get a remodeled bathroom, or I'm going to remodel my whole living room simply because they got a check in the mail. But imagine if someone that was ready to finally receive this money, they see it as an opportunity. Okay, I'm going to save this, put this towards that, instead of spending it all on one little thing. And that's really what it is. It's realizing that yes, you can be given so much, and that's why you can say lottery winners too. They weren't ready for that.
I was about to say that. No, that's the perfect example. And guys, listen carefully to this part because it's important. And do your research on this stuff. There's a large percentage of lottery winners that lose all their money in like a very short period of time, basically. And you know why? It's because they can't handle it. And you think, oh, when I'm in those $1 million, I won't run out.
No.
But these people don't realize it. They just spend because they didn't have what it takes to get to that point. They didn't grow to that point. They were never able to grow to that point. So that's why they lose it.
Yeah.
They lose that money so quickly because they never learned how to manage money properly. And so it's a staggering statistic, but it makes sense when you look at the people who actually work their way up. They can lose, on the contrary, they can lose all their money and they can just earn it right back. A multimillionaire can have a business fail. Something can go wrong. Anything can go wrong. But you know why? They're not worried because they know that it's their fault. They know that, okay, I need to work on this differently, and they'll have their money up really quick. That's another thing you'll learn from successful entrepreneurs is that they pick themselves back up because they know what it took to get there in the first place. They learned these lessons in the first place.
That's so good.
So they can just rebuild themselves up at any time. And the thing is, they don't have that victim mentality of I'm going to blame this on the government. It's the system's fault. Oh, if only the economy wasn't so bad, I wouldn't be having these problems. No. Oh, if only we had a better president, I wouldn't be having these problems. No. It's a poverty consciousness when you put the blame outside of yourself. When you look at your own harvest, at your own crop, you realize that it is your fault, that you did something wrong.
Exactly.
And so you change accordingly. You see how you can do things better because it's all on you. It's the system. People have made and lost money under both political parties. People have, made and lost money under all different circumstances. So it's not what's outside of you. It's all in here and it's all in here. And it's up to you to change your circumstance. No president is going to come in here and change your circumstance unless you're in that receiving frequency. If you're ready to change it for your own good, for your own self. So also that's one situation that you have to switch around. Get rid of that victim mentality of everything's happening to me.
But no, that's the thing. It really is focusing and really questioning yourself. If you want to ask yourself if you are in a poverty consciousness or a prosperity consciousness, simply look at your results now. And it's the craziest thing. Open your app and look at your bank account. And yes, it's the harshest thing, but it's all on you. It's this way for a reason. And that's really what it is with everything. And if you say you consistently go out and you spend this amount on alcohol, this amount on whatever sort of
useless,
thing,
pointless
that's really what it is. And you realize, are you really taking care of this money as you should? Mm-hmm. Because it's literally being thrown and burned. Mm-hmm. You can literally throw it and burn it. But what if you took this money back, decided to invest it in something that is useful to you and will therefore make you overall better, and not only just throwing it away, but investing it in yourself. And you'll see, you might not see it now, but the results will reap, and you will be thankful. Say you're throwing these $20 each month into whatever it is, and you realize that it's not as useful as it should be, and you put that into getting a gym membership or something. By simply doing that, you realize, okay, now I'm going to work on myself. I'm doing this because of this, and it keeps you a way to not only save your time, and not only save your money into just making yourself overall better. And that's really what it is, investing in yourself. And that's how you switch. This is how you do something. This is how you switch these little tiny things into starting to realize, how can I become
better, really, right?
Better, but damn it.
More better at
switch the consciousness.
No, that's
switch the
poverty consciousness.
Switch the
prosperity.
Switch to the prosperity consciousness. That's what it is.
To that one. No, exactly. And I guess we'll leave y'all with a tip or two. But one thing that came to my mind when you were talking about getting rid of this useless stuff and switching it to a gym membership or something is realize where your money is going. And a lot of times we just we live in a world of subscriptions nowadays where there's a gym membership, gym membership is good, but there's Netflix, music, streaming platforms, everything so much. Literally take a seat and write out, look through everything you can possibly find that you're spending money on and get rid of the useless stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe your grocery bill, you're buying a lot of useless shit, which I am guilty for because that's something I recently realized, oh my gosh, too much money is going towards all these snacks, pointless. I can cut those out. So literally take a look at where your money is going because it doesn't take a genius, and you don't even need to make extra money. Sometimes it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And so that's the biggest difference. You can make $1 million and spend 990,000 and you'll go broke. You can make $100 and spend, $1 or $2 and you'll still have more money than the person who makes more. And it's simply about how much you decide to keep. Your income is your most powerful asset, I guess. It's your most powerful thing that you can do right now to build wealth. Your income can build you wealth as long as you take the steps necessary. And one of those steps is to literally sit down and form a budget. Like, how much am I spending? Did this go off on a tangent?
It did go off on a tangent, but it's okay.
Yeah, because I realized, okay, we're talking about the creative process, but this is part of the process to attract the things that you want.
Exactly.
And it's planning some of these things out. And, I guess for those of you that want to accumulate wealth and want to be financially free, well, here's that tip right here. Sit down, write a budget, realize how much money's going out. Because some people don't even like to look at the numbers. They just want to know, as long as I'm spending less than I'm making, I'm good, right? No, that's so dangerous. That's a dangerous mindset, and I'm guilty of that too. Don't worry, guys. But you need to literally sit down and realize, okay, how much am I spending? And when you look at those numbers, you're like, oh wow, I'm spending a lot. At this rate, you'll never get anywhere. And it's important that you realize this, because then you made a slave out of yourself. You're literally just working those same hours to make that same money that you're then going to throw away. And then you find yourself back in that loop where you feel like you're stuck to keep working those same hours, to keep throwing that money away. And the only reason you feel like you have to go to work and do all these things is because you're the one throwing out all this money.
Yeah.
Like, limit it to the essentials, right? And then give yourself just a few wants. You don't want to deprive yourself of everything. I don't know how serious you want to take this. But, of course, there come the essentials, like, the rent, the car payment, the insurance, the phone bill, maybe internet, bring it down to the essentials, realize how much you're spending out on useless shit, and literally start to form this discipline. It's okay to tell people, hey, I can't go out to eat tonight. I'm trying to get my shit together. Hey, I can't go out and keep on buying alcohol for you guys. I need to start saving this money.
Exactly.
Because it really shows, and this might hit a soft spot, but it shows that you are an ungrateful little piece of...
Holy.
If you're spending it on shit like... No, I'm serious. There's people out there, guys, that are in poverty. They're poverty-stricken. They're suffering. They have all these problems. They're trying to save up money for their next medical expense. They're trying to save money for a upcoming funeral. And you're here dishing it on alcohol and drugs and useless shit. Whatever that may be, It might not be alcohol or drugs, but the thing is, you're spending it on useless shit.
Yeah.
That money, that dollar that you think is just whatever to you could be life-changing for someone else. And the fact that you're over here spending it on useless shit, it just shows a lot,
No, it does. And that's what it is. Those results will reap. And then one day you're going to be like, why am I so fucking broke? And then you're going to realize it's because of you and your actions.
Yep, not anyone else.
No, and then it's not because anyone else. And that's really what it is. It's so important to give a name to each of your dollars. This is a thing that Dave Ramsey says, It's really seeing where all your money, giving it a name. Where's it going? What am I going to do with this? And realizing that I'm not going to just give a whole section of this money willingly without even knowing how much of it is to unnecessary, useless things for temporary pleasure. And that's really what it is. It's temporary pleasure for now and to feel like shit later. And that's the craziest thing. Once you realize that you can limit that and you don't need to always do that, you'll see that these results will reap. And it's really just about taking a step back, evaluating yourself as a person and seeing what's best not only for myself but for my future family. Did my parents come here for me to do this and spend all this and throw all this away simply because I have the opportunity to? Or could I see it the other way? I have the opportunity to do this now because I was given this chance to be here. So now I can put it into starting a business. I can put it into working out. I can put it into a whole bunch of positive, productive things, not only to uplift yourself, but your whole family. And I guess that's what it is. Take a step back and realize it's not just for you. It is not just for you. It's for every single buddy around you. It's for your family, wanting to make them have a better life and realizing, giving back to them for everything they've done for you. And it gets to a point where to stop being fucking selfish and realize that There's people here and around you that really want you to do so much good in your life, and you're over here being a fucking retarded piece of fucking shit.
No, actually, dude, hit him with it.
God.
It shows so much ingratitude, and as the children of immigrants, we feel this on a whole other level.
That's so true.
That might not be your situation exactly, but if you're also the children of an immigrant, you got to realize how much was lost, how much was sacrificed for them to come here and give you a better future. And it's sad to see that a lot of the people that we know. There's a lot of names that come to mind, but unfortunately these people just don't realize this yet.
You don't.
But this message is for you. This message is for you people to realize that. And even if you're not the children of an immigrant family, still realize that there's people out there that are struggling. You're over here just wasting it on whatever.
But that's the thing, though. Even if you're not a child of an immigrant family, it's also realizing, maybe your family's better off. But you should realize, do you want just to mooch off them, or do you want your life to be better for your own self? And that's something else you need to realize. Yes, there's moms and daddy's money there. But do you want to build something? Do you want to be something besides mom and dad? Do you want to be whatever your name is? You want to be yourself. And that's really what it strays away and becomes a different person.
Yeah.
And we say this because we've done this, and we say this not to judge anyone, but we say this because we've been there, we've done that, and we don't speak out of ignorance. We don't speak of, don't do this and this and this and this because we think we're better than you. We speak because we've done this, we've came to a realization, and now we're here living the realization and realizing that not only has it bettered us as people, but we know it could better you. Yeah. And it's up to you to really step back. It's up to you to question your own person.
It should be a wake up call, really. When you put all these pieces together, it should really just be a wake up call and realize, holy shit, I am ungrateful. Because this is the realization that I came to. I'm pretty sure Mario came to, is that, damn it, I was so ungrateful. Damn it, I didn't see it back then, but I see it now. And now that I see it, I'm going to change accordingly. I'm not just going to ignore it because I see it now. Like, once you see it, you need to take that change. You need to take that affirmative action and realize that, wow, I want better for myself. I want better for my family. I want to be able to help people in need. These are goals that you should have on your list of goals. Those should be at the top, really. And it's really just that switch in mindset. It's switching that mindset from a victim mentality that things just happen to you and whatever to a prosperity consciousness where you realize, holy shit, I have control of my life. Mm-hmm. Holy shit, no matter how long all this shit takes, I'm going to put in the work now because we only have the now. So why wouldn't I? So literally. And I guess this wraps it all the way back around to just letting these things happen of their own accord. And as long as you know that you're being the best version of yourself, as long as you know that you're making that budget, that you're taking care of your money, you're taking care of yourself, your body, your health, your mind, you're taking care of these things, you're doing good. These should be at the top of your priority list. You're doing good. Whatever time it takes, who cares? Who cares? The time will keep on going on. Don't let anxiety grip you because of that. Write down these goals. Have aspirations, but as long as you're working at it, day in, day out, and these are your goals, go for it.
Yes, that's what it is.
That is what it is.
Oh my fuck, that's what it is. Just putting the work consistently, realizing, yes, you're sacrificing some things, but you're sacrificing it for the better. Yeah. And now you're just gonna let it happen, let time catch up to all this work you're putting in.
It's faith,
all
guys.
This consistency. That's also what it is. Having faith. And realizing you are going to be whatever you aspire to be because you're acting as if now.
That's a good one. Wow, that is a good one right there. And the flesh is always going to be behind faith. I know we're rambling on, but this is important, guys. Good. The flesh is always... Yeah, I had this talk the other day, but with someone else. The flesh will always be behind faith. Faith is what the five senses can't perceive yet.
Ooh.
What these five senses can't perceive yet, it's just knowing that eventually it will be yours. And no matter what, it will come into fruition. So, flesh will always be behind faith. It cannot catch up. It cannot, perceive it. But if you have a strong faith, if you have that strong belief system, and if you're putting in that work, like we've been talking about, it's going to happen. Yep. No matter what, it's going to happen. It can't not happen if you're doing it.
It will.
And I'm telling you guys, we want to see stories. We want to see the people around us succeed. We don't just talk to judge and point fingers. We're the same advice we're giving y'all is the same advice that we learned.
That we've implemented into our lives.
Yeah, and even though we're not multimillionaires right now, I guarantee you we will be in the near future. But just because we're not right now doesn't mean we're not allowed to give advice, guys.
Just wait.
That's the thing. I feel like it's our mission to, as we progress through life, share information.
Exactly.
You're picking apples off of trees as you go. Share them with people. Give them around. Spread it around.
You know, that's so important that you say, we might not be millionaires now, but if you act as if you are, you will become. And that's really what it is. Now we've realized, okay, now we're letting go of our past selves and taking out what is unnecessary, taking out what we saw as hindering us from growing to the best possible person we can be. So that means we still are, therefore, reaping our results. So now I wouldn't be this person that I am now if I would have kept doing every little tiny thing that I was. I would still be that same person, stagnant in that same mindset. But now I have achieved a success, which is gained a new perspective on life, started a new lifestyle, and it's really just a whole combination of a lot.
Yeah.
And that reaped from what I left and let go and became. And that's what it is. It might be in a small picture for myself that no one else can see unless you speak to me and see me and you realize, oh fuck, he's not the same person he was literally a couple months ago, because he was a completely fucking idiot. That's really what it is for me personally. And that's what I'm trying to say. These results will show, and it's different when you see it will come. Now we've changed as people. Now we're working towards doing something even bigger than ourselves. And it's literally just waiting for time to catch up. And that's why we're not worried about it happening at this very moment, but we know it's going to happen, so we're just going to let it happen.
Exactly. And even at this very moment, there's people listening out there. There's you guys listening out there that it's just absorbing this stuff, and you're going to do what it takes to make yourself better. Because you know that it's possible for you. And that's really our mission. That's why we say this whole project is bigger than ourselves. Because this is for others. This is for other people to just absorb and intake all this stuff. And really just wait on it, guys. We're going to make a story out of ourselves. And you're going to make a story out of yourselves. Yes. And we want to hear these stories firsthand. We want to see people making a change in the world. It needs it. People need this change, especially now.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's really what it is.
Really what
Become different, be different, and not only be different, but aspire to inspire.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. We just want to help as many people as we can. Realize that you're capable of so much more. Please don't limit yourself, and just let it fucking happen.
Let it happen, guys.
So, that's what it is. So, thank you.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Now,
Nay.
Hello, everyone.
What's up, guys? YouTube
family.
Wow. Actually, if you're watching this right now, which you are, I'm pointing at you, subscribe. Just go over there and subscribe. 'Cause we have good content. And if for some reason you're like, I don't know, this episode kind of feedback then. Let's communicate. Communicate.
Like
seriously, leave a comment. We'll talk about it.
Yes.
And then go subscribe.
Subscribe either way.
Because we're open. We're here to listen and to speak.
We will never be closed-minded to it. Maybe it's constructive criticism. When it gets to a point where it's talking shit, then obviously we're not
talking shit. Right.
But if you really have a valid point, we will understand and we are able to address it, because we are not the type to completely close it out.
Yeah.
We're the type to have a conversation, understand your point, understand our point, maybe come to a conclusion. Maybe you even change our mind. Maybe we change yours.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
That's really what it is. That is what it is. Even on our, we got a comment on YouTube the other day. We addressed it. We, I guess, specified ourselves. We made it clear what our message was really trying to get at. Yeah. And everyone's happy. It's all good.
What it is.
That is what it is. All right. So thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you, everyone. No, it's good. Good job for waiting.